work. So he calls me and wants us to include like a video of our meeting, which he can get that off YouTube, right? Yeah. Okay, I didn't even go into all that with him. But the trick is they've allowed him to buy 2 scroll saws to go into the classroom for him to teach on. Not more than $150 each. I thought, even on a good day, you're not going to find that. Because I've got several I know that want to sell their, but I don't think they're going to let it go for $150, especially the men that I know. So anyway, it's the Mineola League of Arts. And didn't somebody go down there for the woodworking?
I did.
Okay.
I've been in there good.
Oh, okay. So it's that. And he just happened to show him his woodwork. So I don't see until he finds some saws. If y'all hear of anybody wanting a good saw that's on a stand.
Ain't gold. Well, you can buy a Copeland saw for that.
Yeah, okay. He was just going on, and I thought, I'm sure I could be out in the shop on this.
I think Wynn has the least expensive model, but
And I've heard, Clara said she knows several people that have bought those and really like them.
I've
They
got
probably
no
never used a
that I
good one.
like.
Huh?
They probably never used a good one, that's why.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah.
wondering.
I know there might be one at Harbor Freight.
Well, that's what this, when, isn't that what's from Harbor Freight now? It's better than the original ones they had.
Well, they had 10. So.
No, this is evidently a fairly decent, and she offered to demo it for them. You know, Clara. And they just said no. You know, well, Faye's offered Woodcraft. Is it Woodcraft? Woodworld? Woodcraft is out to demo in their shop, and they've told her no. Now, how many saws do they have for sale? They have a bunch of, I mean, don't they have several for sale?
I think they got Jet. Or they used to, I haven't been in there in a couple of years.
They ultimately got their own brand too, which is just Excalibur with another sticker on it.
You'd think somebody would be interested in demoing some of those, you know, but they're not. Anyway, so if they get going more, I'm going to tell them about YouTube. But what he suggested is that his members pay our membership fee so they can be members here and get discounts in Fort Worth. How far, or Dallas? How far is Dallas from Mineola?
It's not terrible.
2.5, but 2.5 hours?
I don't think it's even that long. I don't remember. I just go.
Because I'm always that way, so.
But, well, I would think he would probably know Ray North. He's the one who started the wood carving.
Well,
They set up-
probably.
They set up a show every year, or have been.
Well, anyway, so that's evolving with, I suggested he look up the East Texas scroll saw. Remember it was going when we joined this? Well, when I looked it up, I didn't see anything on it, but when I looked it up, was a whole list of woodworking clubs and the weekday, when they meet and everything. It was like, whoa. I mean, it gave ours, it gave all kind of clubs in the area.
I think Woodworking we went to the demo, they have
They have what?
a list of all the woodworking groups.
Well, they may, but I just called up East Texas because that group was going when we joined this. And so I just thought, well, I'd not ever seen that list before. It's a pretty good list. But it did not have the East Texas people on it, so I guess they've closed down.
says that Mineola is an hour, about an hour and a half.
Out of Dallas?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay, and Jenna Beth Hutcherson, Lyndall's wife, is finally moving out of her house. And it's the daughter-in-law that emailed me, said they're cleaning out the house and there's scraps of wood. If anybody wants them, they need to contact her, and I've got her email if y'all are interested. But I bet if it's scraps, she's saying scraps, I bet it's scraps. I'm thinking Paul, isn't he from Ponder? Paul Martosio? Up close to, I mean, he's up close to Carrollton, isn't he? I bet doing in Tarsia, he'd like to have that, so I'll get in touch with him. But she also said, let me see, maybe some patterns if we can find them.
It'll be a whole truck full of it.
Well, now, one of his grandsons, I think, took like a saw and stuff like that. So he may have also taken the patterns and they didn't know if he'd taken them or not. I don't know. But it's like if we can find them.
If he took the saw, he probably took the wood, probably scraps from it.
That's what I'm thinking. So Paul, being in Tarsia, might be interested in going and picking them. And he lives fairly close to that, so, because they're in Carrollton. I mean, I've got enough crud. Well, you know, good, some,
You got room for it. Most of us don't have any more.
it's in that shed in the back that's falling apart from the weather. Yeah.
Garage.
Yeah, my garage is full. Kenneth said, you bring one piece of wood in this house and you're in trouble. And I have never heard him say anything like that. Okay, another announcement is, I was watching TV the other day, and there was a girl being interviewed. And they are decorating the Galleria with Japanese, what kind of origami decorations. And I thought, that is Ron Moore's granddaughter. So 2 or 3 days later, I'm watching Texas Today at 11 o'clock, and they're interviewing her. And what she does with the money, they've been doing this for years. The money is it goes to build wells in Africa, but I think also in the United States where they don't have good water. And I know that they've collected these girls, and they were little bitty when they started this. Ron's wife was Japanese and taught them how to do all this. And anyway, they collected over several $1 million with this. But I thought, okay, that's got to be, it's water for, paper for water. So I'm watching this, and they're saying how many volunteers there are. And there's a table where they're all folding these, and there's Ron. And I thought, see, I knew it was Ron's granddaughters. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I had wondered, I emailed Ron a couple of times, and he never answered, and he's been treated for cancer. And I thought, hope he's still alive. Well, he's alive enough to still have his hair and to be folding that paper, so that's good. Okay, that's my announcements. Library's over there, it's got a lot of patterns. And ask what?
I have one thing. The last time I was here, I left my Yeti cup. Did anybody find it?
We talked about it.
If whoever had got it is even here today,
I bet Faye's got it.
that'd be the best guess.
What was it?
Yeti cup. One like
Cups?
this. Like that.
Yeah,
I think I remember seeing one left here, but I.
Right
don't
over
remember
there.
what-
Yeah, I was right over here. We went out to eat, and I remember that when I got there, it was too late to come back. Everybody was gone.
You might look over there. We discussed it, and I can't remember if Faye grabbed it or not, but if anybody has it, it's Faye. It's not me.
No, I'll ask for next time.
We all remember discussing it.
Oh, well, that's good. It doesn't help a lot, but I
That's as good as we are.
We remember that you forgot.
Oh, thank you.
You did forget it.
Well, good.
Okay, anybody has asked the experts? You don't have any questions? Alex, you don't have any questions?
I haven't pulled out anything last month. We went on vacation for 2 weeks of it.
Oh, all right.
Too much overtime work this year too.
Where do you go, Grand Canyon?
Yeah, Grand Canyon, Zion National Park, Arches, Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands. We did all the national parks in Utah plus Vegas.
Cool. The only way I can remember Zion and Bryce, because we went to them on the one vacation, is Zion looks like somebody's taken a sword and done this all over it. Z for Zion, and we met one hiker that said he always comes from California to Zion because unlike the canyon, the big canyon, where you start out at the top new and you go down and then you have to crawl out. In Zion, you go up first, and so you don't get yourself into trouble, which is true. And I thought that was pretty good. Okay, ask the experts. I was going to ask about if anybody knows what that butterfly is.
what the wood is.
You talking about the dragonflies?
No, the butterfly.
Oh, what wood it is?
What kind of wood it is, and I guess I'll just dip it and hope for the best.
It looks a bit like cherry.
Okay, pick it up and see what you think. I don't know. I thought the inside looked maple. But I couldn't, when I finished, I couldn't sand down the top to match the inside part of it. So if y'all have a,
Does anybody know where you can get basswood?
Have a shop.
There is some at Woodlawn, they're very high, they don't have very much.
Rockford usually has some, but once again, it's
What was it?
Basswood?
Yes.
What
I
you
need,
think?
I need a 1-inch piece by 10, 7, that's 7, that's right.
Inch thick,
Yeah,
7 inches wide.
yeah, I just need them for some legs.
I got a whole bunch of 2-inch thick. About 8 foot long.
I want him to do some relief carving in the class. I need to get some relief.
well, he said he has,
2 inches is too thick.
you don't have anything to thin it down?
Resaw it right quick.
My resawing doesn't work very well.
Oh, I can resaw it. It's not hard.
Anyway, I'll find something, I guess I can order it mail.
Does Oakooch have it?
What?
Does Oakooch have it?
I don't know where Oak Tree
It's in Oregon, Ocooch.
Wisconsin.
Huh?
Wisconsin.
Is it Wisconsin? They moved, I can't be wrong. No.
is. I don't know.
Might move.
No.
It's kind of hard to find in here. Used to some lumber yard to carry it some, but I haven't found it.
Well, Oakooch has about anything and everything that you'd want. And they're dependable.
I'll have to write that down because I never remember. How you spell it?
I just got Robinson trying to get shut of all they had. I just bought all they had left. Somebody bought all the wide stuff I got, probably about that wide.
It's about 7-inch wide. I can cut it.
6, 7, something like that. Somebody else got all this stuff that was 10, 12 inches wide. They already had that laid aside, right? Nailed all that.
Well, I'll keep looking. I'll find some.
Okay, I guess we're to the brag table. Does anybody have anything else to talk about? Okay, show us your dinosaur.
Right there. Plywood and dinosaur, not much else to it. Just a bunch of solid. It's all 3 points over the ground.
You gotta watch those dinosaur patterns. They're real bad about putting strange joints together that don't have to go together. I caught the one in the tail that was a puzzle on the first one I did. So this one I made the tail all out of one piece of wood. And then I was putting it together, I realized I could have made these two pieces all out of one piece of wood and not had this joint and just put another rib right here. So that's a flaw that can be corrected. Anybody ever does another one of these things?
So, what kind of wood do you have?
Oh, it's that stuff they make
MDF?
No, experimental airplanes out of.
Oh,
You don't want any of that stuff.
and how long does that take to cut that?
I don't remember. I mean, maybe 3 days, something like
It's probably getting all the pieces together.
Was that plywood or MDF?
that. No, that's that aircraft stuff. It's about 19 plywood. I brought this too. You ever heard of wood owl drill bits? I hadn't. I saw an ad somewhere for it. Hard to wait to see what it looks like. If you're cutting plywood, it cuts real nice, clean holes. But the drawback in it, the bits are only, they start at 3/8 and only go up to about 1 inch in 1/8-inch increments. So you're kind of limited on size. But it really does cut nice, clean holes all the way through the plywood.
So what do you call them?
It's wood owl.
Okay, next.
I put some fabric on some MDF and cut out these to give it a little bit of something different. And I posted it like 5 different ones. 4 of them had fabric and 1 of them cut out a cherry. And the guy asked me, can I get the pattern of the one that's cut out of cherry? He didn't know they were all the same. And then I made it real small. A little base on it.
That's,
And then I made a magnet, jar.
I like those.
Dawn put a little bow on for me. And then y'all see my dragonflies. I got a bunch of them on the fence with different color flowers, all cut out of fence wood. And then I took chia stickers And I put pictures of my grandkids. Make different shapes and stuff with the little magnets. That's about it.
And how did you mount the pictures on that? Just spray it on the back?
I sprayed the glue on the wood.
Okay.
I took the sticker, and it's already real sticky, and laid it right on top.
Oh, okay.
Then I took some sawdust and went around it, because you overspray on the wood, and that way you can handle it without it sticking to you when you're trying.
Say that again.
When you spray the wood, then I put the sticker on there. Well, I oversprayed on the wood bigger than the sticker was. So I took some sawdust and I put on there and rubbed it around, and that way it's not sticky no more on where the pattern's not.
Okay.
What is the sticker?
That way,
What is the sticker? I'm confused.
all right, take a piece of wood and you spray adhesive on it. Then you take your sticker and you put it on there.
He's wanting to know what's the sticker.
I print these off on the printer. Or you buy these sticker sheets.
Okay, I got it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then, like you laid it on here. Now all this got glue on it, but your pattern's not there. So when you go to touch it, you're sticking to it. So you take a little bit of sawdust and put all the way around there, and then you can touch it and it won't stick to you.
And it doesn't screw up your blade or anything? I mean,
No, you're cutting wood anyhow.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Whew. I know.
It wasn't a ceiling joke, it wasn't over your head.
Oh my gosh, some days are not good. We old women got to talking about one day, the day you're 80 years old, everything starts falling apart. And I said, well, now we're over the 80s, so it's really falling apart. First one goes to the emergency room, then the next goes to the emergency room, then the next. It's like, that's what we talk about on Tuesday is who all's been to the emergency room.
I've been to more hospitals than you have.
Luckily, I hadn't been in a while.
Well, this is my poor attempt. I haven't done anything forever. Well, since February, since Christmas, I guess. So anyway, but a friend of mine's getting married in August, and she wants these people cutouts, and I forget who had the book, but yeah. But anyway, so she saw. I bought the book, and she saw it. So she wants like 7 or 8 of these, bigger. So for her, I guess the tables or something for the reception tables. These are dogs. I think they're dogs. I don't know what they are. I think they're dogs. Anyways, but she wants them bigger. I haven't cut any of these. This is a really important tip, so I'm going to have to practice a little bit. So I think she said 8, but she wants them about that big, so I have to expand it a bit. This is a very poor attempt, but considering it's the first thing I've done in about forever on a scroll saw, and the scroll saw was bouncing. For some reason it's out of balance or something.
Sometimes you have to adjust your speed.
Oh man!
It's like you have to find that happy place for, and every saw's different.
Yeah, that might be the reason why, because it was like bouncing, and I have bruised ribs and all that bouncing. Like,
You didn't put your blade upside down.
no, I didn't do that. I did check that. I did think about
Sometimes
that.
that makes it bounce too.
Yeah, but this, but anyway, it's a start.
Okay, she wants a male at a the bride and the groom's on the middle of the
she wants animals because her theme is animals. I have no idea. She's some pattern person.
Are you saying you have a hard time making a bigger pattern?
No, I'm going to make the pattern bigger. She wants it like 6 or 7 inches.
Okay, so you have everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I see now. That is 2 dogs.
Yeah, this is 2 dogs.
Hug. I couldn't see what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are 2 dogs. But I think there's a giraffe and 3 or 4 different animals. But she's some PETA girl. So her wedding is animal related or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. She's a very strange lady. But anyway, so that's my attempt.
I have a question.
Mhm.
In the first book, Feet on Pits, the French author drilled the eyes all the way through. You drill all the way through.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Get yourself a Forstner bit, a little tip. When you drill it, you'll get a pupil.
Oh. That's an,
Now, the only thing is, if you want to get them straight, make a little template, so you put it over there, so, okay, this matches this.
Yeah.
Okay. But it looks great when you make the pupil.
Oh,
Yeah.
but anyway, I can't imagine having animals on your.
Could be worse.
Odd folks, so.
Grandfather's wedding.
Making two, they saw this
Yeah.
fall over there if you don't make the wood.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
Yeah,
the, it's good,
I
I've got 2-inch pieces, so it's gonna be about, I think 8 inches by 6, I guess, or something, but it's gonna be 2-inch pieces. So it might be too big, but she'll get what she gets, because I'm not charging her for it, so. But I'm like, but I'm not going to the wedding either, I just don't think I could be around all those PETA people all day long. I want my steak.
You hate to go in saying, ooh, I'm going to get a steak tonight.
Yeah, like, okay.
What's the steak?
Yeah.
I've got a t-shirt that says PETA across it, and below it says, people eating tasty animals.
Oh.
I was like, okay, whatever works for people.
You know, if you live in Texas,
Yeah, like,
okay, next, or buy it, a box. And we're glad to have you back.
It's been a long road to get back here. This is from a scratch piece. I don't know if you can see it gouge out from here, and it's certainly not rectangular by all shapes. The trick, as I learned it, never having done it before, well actually I've done some of it. You get your compass and you make your lines so you can get a starting point. When I did this, I realized that this piece is actually going to be part of the wall. That's cool. So when it's done, you might note that I'm separating these ever so carefully, just for the concept of it. The gaps through here, when I would cut a piece off, I would put it back and draw a line. So that when I cut off the other side, I was left with what I call a rib through here, okay? And so I would mark that, so I know exactly where that piece went. Gluing those ribs down. That's fine, okay. These are the ribs through here.
Okay, yeah.
And those were sanded. Sanding. Anyway, and I realized that when you would put the rib down, I couldn't clamp it because that would cause a squeeze out, and it might do other things I didn't want. But so I put them down one at a time and let the glue sit before I put any kind of weight on it, but I put pieces along the side to keep it absolutely at a square on it, just to make sure. Did them one at a time. So this is a singular block of wood, so I cheated. I used my bandsaw to cut off the thicker pieces, and then, which would be the top piece, and I'm left with the thicker piece, and I cut off this piece and let it with a block, and I cut the top off.
That's interesting.
That is unusual.
That's pretty wood though.
I don't even know what kind of wood it is.
Looks a little like mesquite, but I don't think it is.
I've seen the patterns, but I've never really ever do it.
That's my pattern. You see this one. As I said earlier, the pieces I make, I give away. I don't sell things, so I'd like to call this my prototype. I may never make it, but I'm already working two more kind of similar to it.
You ought to, when you finish one of them the way you like it, take it and send an email to one of the Scroll Song magazine. They may put it in the.
I'm already talking to them about other projects, and they want me to send in the photography. I've already brought some pieces here,
That's good.
they still want it, so.
That is,
I apologize, I was in a hurry to get here, I left 2 pieces out on each side of the bag at home. Feel kind of embarrassed about that.
Grandkids, huh?
I was thinking about that, I think that's how they got misplaced. Lots of sanding goes into it, of course. It's got 7 layers of lacquer. I went up to 600 grit, blah, 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 blah.
Am I up?
Next.
Next. Okay, I looked up on internet butterflies and I found this. The back of this does not look, this is gonna be mine, but the back of this does not look good, and I think what happened is I put a bigger blade in it.
well, it looked like the top is a hollow to the bottom, so how did we get this in there?
Well, I don't know.
The top
either.
looks perfect.
But see, I had several pieces of paper under it, and then a thin piece of wood under it to make copies, and the paper all had this too. I think it's when I went to the bigger blade. I think it just cut into it faster.
Well, if the blade at the top was where you wanted it, and the bottom is way off,
Don't know,
that
because
doesn't make sense.
I don't know. My whole life sometimes is I don't know, but anyway, this is gonna sit in my window and the light coming through it looks
It's beautiful.
really nice.
It's a lot of work.
When Kenneth looked at you, he went, "Are you making another one?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." Because see, I'd already done one this size and put paper under it for cards. I decided.
What size blade or what kind of blade did you
I was
use?
using a geometric, what do they call it?
Modified geometry.
Yeah, modified geometry, number 3, and they're sharp. They're
Number
real
3?
sharp. But it was kind of I was having trouble cutting with it, so I thought, well, let me put in the 5. And I think that was just cut too much. I probably was trying to go too fast. The top looked good, so that's all, you know.
Don't understand how you get off from the top and the bottom.
I don't
Well, the
know.
blade, the tension of the blade straight.
I don't know. The if is the big word. Okay, then I'm still using my corian, and I found out the polar blades. I can also use a number 3. I didn't know I had 3 polar blades, but I found them and I thought, let me try that. They cut beautifully, especially on these teeny tiny areas on this reduced size. And then here's the same, basically, these are Sumac patterns. Same pattern, the same nativity. And I used Rover's suggestion using paper, so instead of just going to Walmart or Michael's to get some paper, Kenneth ordered it over the internet and got me a whole package of glue. So I've got lots of projects that I have to use the glue. Okay, then this pattern, I'm not sure where I got this pattern. Clara may have sent it to me, but the pattern itself is one like the Amazing Grace pattern that the hearts are cut out. Well, it was so busy you couldn't see the love in the middle of it. It was just too busy. So I left the cutouts out of it, and it cut, of course, half the time of cutting it out. So this one's going to be used as a decoration, and this one as a trivet. So, and then here's other cards I did.
Do you ever paint those?
You know, my girlfriend does. I do not.
Not the card, the one you got cut out. And you said the hearts are hard to see.
This one?
Yeah. If the hearts are hard to see, if you painted red, that would show up or something like that.
Well, if they're cut out though, you've got holes all, there was just too much,
Yeah.
too much print there. So, yes, if I had it on wood, I probably would paint the love
Yeah.
separate, yeah. But on accordion, I've never tried painting an accordion. Have you? Anybody? Okay, well, y'all can try that, so. All right, anything else?
Guess that's it.
So how are your cutting boards going?
Very slowly. I haven't done anything since Christmas, so I've taken a break. I'm not decided, I haven't decided if I'm going to do them this year or not, because I'm getting ready to retire and trying to get the house set to sell and all that stuff. So trying to get my wood supply down, so I'm not trying to haul it all to Ohio. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do this year.
So when are you retiring?
December 31st, 188 days.
And she's not marking that off.
No.
Who's counting, right?
Who's counting? They've already asked me to stay till February, and I've said absolutely not.
What would they give you to?
I told them it would have to be a very large
Do you know
sum.
money?
And they said, how large? And I gave them a number, and they kind of went, oh.
Wait, don't come back and say yes.
Well, if they did, I would stay for 2 months if they gave, but no. So yeah, so December 31st. Now I'm going to put the house on sale in January, and then whenever it sells, then I'll move to Ohio. So I'm kind of slowly getting rid of my wood stuff, so I don't have to haul it there. So.
Well, at least she wouldn't cry if we went and helped clean it out.
No.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, I probably will have quite a bit of stuff to get rid of as far as wood. I've got so much wood, it's just like there's just no way I can throw all of it. So I'll probably haul some of it up here for you guys to pick through. I've got 2-inch pieces of walnut, you know, and stuff. Birch. I got a piece of maple that's about 3 foot tall, about this thick all the way around. And it's too big to get in my planer, and I don't know how to cut it, but it's huge. So I've got that to deal with, figure out how to get rid of that. And then I've got some bog cherry that I've been carrying around for 20 years, and I can't figure out what project to do it for. And I've got 2-inch by 12-inch by 5 foot pieces of teak that I got to get rid of. So yeah, so I've got plenty of stuff to share.
There was one lady at one of the craft shows I go to that's on Camp Bowie, and she did cutting boards. Your stuff's good. I've never seen designs like she did.
Yeah.
Did I take a picture of it? No.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping she'll be there this year.
Yeah.
Just, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's some really cool
That-
patterns you
Go
can
to
do.
that church, you can't move it. I used to do that.
The Arlington Heights
No,
Methodist Church on Camp Bowie.
no, that ain't, it's a different. I went
Well, it's getting smaller every year. It's an old church.
to-
and
Yeah, it's just a Methodist church.
Yeah, this is Methodist.
When you take pictures of art that you might want to duplicate, or how do you do it? How do you make sure that the camera is perpendicular to the piece?
Well,
Otherwise,
this I found in the computer, so I did, copy thing. And then I have to, because my my stuff that's in the computer's old. I have to go from there and put it onto Word. And then on Word, I can put it into my card file thing that I have that's old, and put it on there and then enlarge it however I want it. But I have one that I'd really like to do.
you enlarge a picture in Word?
Well, some, as much as you can, but you can't do it like, this I can, the card file I have, you can put pictures on it, it's an old, and the new ones don't do that. And I'll put it on, and then I may enlarge it to where it sticks out here, and I have to take half a picture. But I found a tree of life the other day that, I'd love to do, but it's crooked, so
Well,
I can't
if
use
you
it.
take it, like it's here, and you're pointing down at it.
Well,
it's
I'm not
angled.
taking the real pictures
Yeah,
as far as to use a pattern. I'm usually getting those off the internet.
okay. This one.
But sometimes, if it's not exactly, I'll make it on my card file. I can make it long and narrow instead of totally round or something like that. But
Well, I can change them. If you look at a building, they're pointed up, and change the shape. You can straighten those out. One of the programs I have. But I haven't done it very often.
well, I know there's a pair of earrings that I got. I looked at them at a craft show or something, and I said, I need a picture of those. And she went and got me a picture. She went and took a picture someplace of them. Maybe she was a member of the church or wherever I was. But it was a tad off. So those earrings are totally, completely round. But, you're moving your head. Who cares? Well, they're just a tad off. When I look at it, I can tell it. But nobody else really is going to sit there. When they have them on, they're moving. So.
Well, I can tell those.
Well, it matches. You might be a tad off too, see, then.
I am a tad off. I have to tell y'all at one show, it was the Recreation Center in North Richland Hills, and there was a lady across from me that was she made baskets, and she was there the first time we'd ever met. So Bob Clary came up, he was talking to him. His friend Tori came up, he was talking to him. Seemed like there was another guy that came up that was in our group. He was talking, finally this lady goes, okay, I gotta ask, what's the deal with all these men? I said, they're in my woodworking group. She, I thought that was the funniest thing to ask. But one would come up, and then the other one would come up. Then in a minute, another one would come up.
So you had a harem.
We're all just in a big room, and so when they had blank times, they'd come up and talk to me, so. But her expression was like, but I said, now, if you see that I'm really in trouble with somebody, because I seem to gather some kind of weirdos, don't interrupt. Well, there was a guy in there that came in, he talked, and he showed me every picture of stuff he'd made, everything. And he kept talking, and he kept talking. And finally, when he finally left, I said, why did you not interrupt me? He said, I'm just another man, you look fine to me. I met some really neat people at that recreation center. So, okay, anything else? This is just too slow, too fast. Alex, you look excited.
I'm thinking of the projects I have to get done this afternoon at the house.
We're gonna get a chance to start her?
Be optimistic.
I'm optimistic if I finish them early, my wife will come up with another one.
Well,
I've noticed that too.
I was mowing the other day on the, me and I hit it when I mow. You know, we have 2 acres and I hit it. Oh, I hit something and the belt came off. And I do the mowing, Kenneth keeps the machine running. And so I said, well, I don't want to shock you. It won't, the belt, I think the belt came off. Well, he's pretty disabled himself now with his knees and all, but he bought the part. And for 2 days he worked on it. He got it done, but getting up and down was really hard on him. And I said, I don't know what happened. I think I ran under a rock. Yeah, I don't know. But poor guy, if something doesn't fall apart during the day for him to fix that I've touched.
Well, I bet he appreciates it. He needs to be doing it.
He does really well with stuff. You know, like all of a sudden that Delta that I bought, I love the way it runs, except all of a sudden it'll just stop running. Just dead in the water. And he's figured out that some fuse or something goes out up in the top of it. And doesn't say a word, he just fixes it. He's going, I said, well, I've gotten my money out of this Delta, even if you can't fix it. No, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So, then get out there. He's pretty good.
I'll tell you a funny story. I went home in May to Ohio for vacation, and I mowed my brother's yard, or our family home yard. Well, the mower is 36 years old. It's a riding mower. The only thing that works on this thing well is the hinge that brings the hood up so that you can get to the gas part. And that's the only thing that works well. So to start it, you have to pull it out, attach the battery, then you have to take a wrench and hit the starter, just like that, it'll start.
How'd you figure that out?
Well, my brother had to tell me, because I said, why is it not starting? He said, did you use a wrench? And I said, what would I use the wrench for? It's a key. Well, you gotta hit the starter. So I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. So I get on the mower, you know, and I start trying to put it in gear, and he says, oh, you can't put it in gear like that. And I said, well, usually you hit the clutch and put it in gear. I mean, that's with gears, you know. He says, no. You have to hit the brake first, and you can't put it down all the way. Then you have to hit the clutch about 3/4 of the way. Then you move the thing over, the little lever over to the 3.
And then you pray.
Yeah, and then you let the brake up just a little bit, not all the way. Then you let the clutch off, and then let go of the lever and let the brake off. I'm like, what? You know?
This is like trying to get up the hill learning to use your clutch.
Yeah. So I finally got it to move. And the steering wheel, okay, it's a wheel, right? It goes like this. You know, and I'm trying to go in a straight line, but it's going like this. I'm like, Robert, why don't you get a new mower? He says, it still works.
You sure there weren't candy cameras around somewhere while you're doing it?
I'm serious. I'm trying to go on a straight line, and the steering wheel's gone all over the place, and I'm trying to keep the thing in the 3. I'm like, good Lord. So I told my sister, we were all 3 going to live together when I moved there. I said, you know, that mower's going to have an accident. I'm like, I'm going to drive it into the ditch or something, break the axle or something.
Left this on a room with the
free
Like you living in that.
Put it beside the road with the sign that says it's free.
He says it works, and it does cut very well. It does cut very well. Not in a very straight line, but it does cut. I was like, Man, by the time I got off that thing, I went,
Well, it gave you a lot of exercise, didn't it?
oh man, trying to keep the steering wheel going. He said, well, it still works. He goes with my dad's theory that if it still works, it's still good. Don't get rid of it. But it's going to have an accident when I move home in next year. It's going to have a big accident. Because 36 years old, I mean, he has plenty of mowing time out of it. I mean, you know, seriously.
What brand is it, do you know?
It's a Springfield. It's a Springfield, yeah. So it's like,
But
it's
it's probably,
swirling.
They went out of business
Probably
35 years ago.
Probably so.
it's probably made in America.
It probably, it might be, but I'll tell you what, that just a little bit on the brake and a little bit on the clutch.
So you finished
we got
mowing
steel
before
in
you
it,
stopped
too.
it again?
I did not stop that thing. It took me 2 hours to get the thing done.
She forgot the wrench, she couldn't stop.
Yeah, I didn't get the wrench in my mind. You
Yeah,
gotta
she
hit
hit
the
it with the
wrench
wrench
thing,
and
man.
stop it.
I said, well, how did you figure out that you have to hit the thing with the wrench? He says, I don't know, I just piddled with it one day and I hit it and it worked. I was like, okay. But seriously, the only thing that works on this mower is the hinge that cranks up the lid that you can get to the gas tank. That's the only thing that works well. And it doesn't squeak when you move it either, so. There's something to be said for that mower.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's fun.
That alone was worth coming today, thank you.
Yeah, well, I was like, we're
Such
gonna
a
have,
visual.
we're gonna have Monday mowing days when I move, because the yard's gonna be mine when I move home, but it is not gonna be mowed at that mower.
What about the snow? Is the snow gonna be yours?
No, the snow goes to the snow blower, and the snow blower is too big for the sisters, so Bobby's gonna take care of the snow.
Oh, well, thank goodness. Does he have a wrench to hit it with?
No, it's a new one. I looked at that and I said, now, you had a snow blower 10 years ago.
What?
That is not the same snow blower.
So what happened to him?
Yeah, I said, what happened to that? Well, it just didn't work right. I said, and this does? He said, well, it's a different thing. It's different. It's different. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's a brand new snow blower. It's beautiful. Beautiful thing, but it's way too big for me. There's no way I can.
Aren't you glad?
Yeah, I'm glad, because that thing's huge. I mean, that's like, how do you even move it? You know, but he's 6'4", so he can handle it, so. But it's huge.
Till he becomes disabled.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
this at?
Hmm?
Where at?
In Dayton, well, it's not Dayton proper. We're south of Dayton in a town about that big.
Ohio?
Ohio, yeah. Yeah, we're just a little tiny little place.
You have to have a big garage just to keep all that equipment.
Well, he's got a 2-car garage, but then he's got a built-in section on the back that's got all the yard equipment in it, so, yeah. But it's going to be getting a new mower soon, because there is no way I'm going to spend my retirement going like this, trying to get the yard done.
Think of how much money you're saving in alcohol. You don't need to.
Like,
You're drunk as soon as you get off.
oh, man. But yeah, I was like, well, hey, do the clutch just a little bit of the brake, and then you move this. Oh. Okay. But yeah, I told my sister it's going to have like an accident of some sort very shortly after I.
Last item to get on the movie van, accidentally left it
Yeah.
with a sign.
Yeah, it's like, oh man. It's like,
That-
sheesh.
30.
I'd say the hinge though, it works well.
I didn't know they had riding mowers 36 years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, heavens
Yeah,
yes.
they
We had,
did.
when I was a little girl,
Tractors.
I was
Oh, well, yeah.
I was
We
7,
had a
I think,
tractor.
when my dad got our first riding mower, because we have a big yard. It's like 3/4 of an acre, plus an acre on the side, so it's pretty big. So he got this riding mower. It was also a Springfield, by the way. Anyway, but I made the mistake of saying, well, I'm not going to be able to use it. You know, I was like 7 or 8. He says, why not? He says, I can't reach the pedals. So I'm like to my brothers, ha ha ha, you're going to have to go to the yard. I'm not going to have to do it. Well, you don't do that in front of my father, boy. He went and got himself a piece of 2x4, a couple of plumbing clamp things, and he made those pedals long enough so little old Betsy could reach the pedals. So guess who was the first one to use that mower on the right? It was me. I learned my lesson: keep my mouth shut. It's like, yeah, okay. So yeah. He said, that's not bragging, not going to work for me.
There's a little lady in Granbury that has a big yard. I mean, she's like her house is like back on her lot, and it's a corner lot, and it's all St. Augustine, thick St. Augustine grass. And she pushes, I mean, I guess it's a pull you mower, but still,
Yeah,
she's
still.
riding it. And then she goes and she catches the grass and she dumps it over the fence for the cows, of somebody else's cows. And every time they hear her start that mower, here they come.
Here come the cows, they know they're gonna hit French grass.
But how she does that, I do not know. Because she's a little bitty skinny lady. Well, that's why she's skinny.
Probably why she's skinny, yeah.
Yeah. So Harmon, have you been working on anything? So have you been working on anything, or when's your
I'm working on
Fredericks?
What?
When's your Fredericksburg stuff?
I don't have, I've already done those. I've
Oh.
got another one in Houston in October of this year, something like that. But, it went okay.
Did it in Fredericksburg?
So, but as far as doing anything, I've got about 6 things started and nothing finished. So,
Gotcha. And you're not allowed in the garage till all the honeydews are done?
No, so last month we had graduation. My son had his Eagle Court of Honor. We went on vacation. I had a hernia. So last month is completely written off for her
So where's Ryan going to school?
at Texas A&M.
Okay.
So it makes it happy.
Not Tarleton A&M, but down in Bryan.
Station, yeah, he
yeah,
got his
he's
new-
already got an eye on my Aggie graduation ring.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think I would be hurt if he didn't get it. But he has to get to be a senior.
I don't know. He's debating because then it's your ring versus his ring. It's my money, so he's fine with it.
Your money?
Yeah.
Well, then you'll have 2 of them when I die.
So how old is your daughter?
She's 16 right now.
So she's a sophomore or a junior?
She finished her sophomore year. She's about to start her junior year.
Good gosh.
And she's about to turn 17 too in another 9 days. So
So you'll have 2 of them.
yeah.
You know, friends of mine, they bought their kids a house, but it was 2 girls. They were Texas at the same time, and they bought them a house
Oh, to go to school?
so that they could sell it when the kids were out and get their money back.
Yeah.
But that's Austin, so.
I'm not sure Austin's in good shape now.
I don't think any of them are in good shape anymore, do you? Oh, the guys that killed the guy, they were bounty hunters supposedly. And the guy that they were hunting got away from them in Dallas. Did y'all hear this? And they shot at him and killed him, and then he hit a post. And whether he was dead before or not, the street light came down on him. They had a bounty hunt, a guy that works with the paroles and all that, and he said, well, didn't exactly follow the rules. You're supposed to be certified, and their certification ran out in May, both of them. And you're not supposed to, when you're bounty hunting, you're not supposed to carry arms. And and this guy was driving away from them, and they shot at him and said, they weren't afraid for their life because he was running. I think he'll be in jail for a long time. I mean, that's called stupid.
Stupid sign on them?
I mean, I don't know the news.
Power for a whole lot of people.
Oh, that.
Do what?
Knocked out the electricity for a whole lot of people.
Oh, I
The
bet
poles
it did
snapped
too.
off.
I didn't think about
Well,
that.
it did, I heard that.
You were talking about the last class I had. I didn't have a lot to do. Like I said,